Roy Culver loves to run, and he's good at it too. In 1997, he came within 4 seconds of beating the Alberta provincial record in the 3,000 meter. For his mother, Camille, it's something of a miracle. Roy Culver's story begins here with another miracle, the miracle of birth. But for Roy and his mother, Camille, it wasn't an easy beginning.
Roy was a real textbook pregnancy. Everything went fine, and this baby moved and moved and moved. And about a week before he was due, he just stopped moving.
Not long after Camille went into labor, complications set in. The baby became stuck.
I guess I was expecting them to say, well, we'll have to do a cesarean again. But they said, the baby's too far down. We can't do a cesarean now. And there were there was forceps were put in place. And I remember thinking, what is this doing to my baby's head?
Roy Culver's first experience with the world outside the womb had left its mark.
He was bruised, which you expect with forceps. What I didn't realize was that it had an effect on his jaw. It wasn't sitting in joint as it should be. It explained why he had trouble being understood. He didn't speak very clearly, so it made it just easier not to talk.
The physical effects of Roy's birth were obvious, but the emotional one became more apparent as he grew older.
Roy always, stood on the outside, assessed the situation, and was very cautious. It was always like he was never really sure if he was going to be accepted. So, in a lot of ways, I do feel his birth had an effect on that. Well, his energy level was extremely low, especially as a toddler. It was really low because he didn't crawl, because he didn't have the energy to crawl. And then when we started with the gluten-free diet, he got up and started walking.
Camille set up an appointment to take Roy to see a craniosacral therapist. It didn't take long for her to know that she'd made the right decision. Carlene Daphne treated Roy as she does all her patients, with the gentle, healing touch of craniosacral therapy.
Because of the known trauma that Roy had, and because of the appearance of his face, and because of what I was able to tell when I put my hands on Roy's body, feeling for the craniosacral motion and the craniosacral rhythm, it was very clear that there was large areas of restriction in the connective tissue inside the head and in the rest of the body, the diaphragm. Roy was also quite bent over. He couldn't stand straight. The tissue inside his body was pulling him into this position.
The craniosacral therapist explained to us when she first had her hands on him that his diaphragm was all pulled up, and that's one of the first things she did through cranial was relax his diaphragm, and he just went, oh.
You don't really feel much. You sort of feel like there's just a hand resting there, and then sort of a bit of tension, then all of a sudden she'll sort of let go and it will release, and you can actually feel your face sort of move. Like,
he walked in the door after that first treatment. My husband looked at him and said, Roy, you're taller.
I noticed a profound difference in his facial features. It had really moved his jaw visibly, and it was remarkable.
At first glance, the human skull looks like a helmet, solid and immobile, a protective shell for the brain. When the bones of the skull are moving normally, cranial rhythm is balanced and we enjoy good health. When we suffer a trauma, injury, or are exposed to a toxin or even emotional shock, the normal motion of the skull can be affected, which alters the cranial rhythm. That, in turn, can affect other bodily functions. Roy's jaw and teeth had always been a problem. His lower jaw was overextended, and his upper and lower teeth didn't actually touch, which made eating very difficult.
When she put her hands in his mouth and did some craniosacral with his actual upper jaw, It was just amazing the color he had in his face. And I looked at him, and he had cheeks, whereas before they were sort of always sunken.
I noticed the first thing was when I got home and I had dinner, I never really knew it was hard for me to chew, but then I seemed to chew so much faster and so much better.
In the first month of treatment, Camille brought Roy to see Carlin 3 to 4 times a week. Camille watched as her son's condition improved dramatically, not only physically, but emotionally too. With proper nutrition and scheduled visits to the craniosacral therapist, Roy continued to improve, and he discovered a hidden talent. The boy who could barely crawl as a baby could run so well that he caught the eye of the track and field coach.
He was kind of pulled out of phys ed class because he had run well that day, and the teacher had said, well, run in the school track meet then, and Roy said, okay.
Camille and her husband watched from the sidelines as Roy raced in the 3,000 meters.
The gun goes off, and Roy runs out in front. And the people sitting beside me are saying, boy, Roy better slow down. I mean, he's got 6 laps to go.
It's difficult to run when you're with the rest of the crowd because they're passing and doing things. So I thought, if I can get ahead of these guys, I'll have a much easier time running. When I got ahead, I found it really easy just to keep going.
He just set his mind to, no, I want to win this race. I was really happy for him because it really paid, it was something that finally paid off all his hard work and self-discipline that he does on his own.
It's made a lot of things easier. I mean, there's the whole jaw thing. I mean, I'm a lot taller because of it. I probably would be 4 inches shorter.
His attitude is better. I think he's more positive, and I think he's overall healthier. I think it improved his health a great deal.
A few days after winning the race, he came home and said, everybody knows his name at school now. It was nice.
Coming up, from PMS to pregnancy, do-it-yourself remedies that put women's health care into their own hands. But first, exercise for the body, inside and out, next on Beyond Medicine.
有光輝有色味有崎嶇有氣度有悲有乜嘢出奇上善若水攀山過嶺乜水都可以係宗師呢個係今個開口如果肢體要活動㗎即係話咁樣係開咁樣係合我離開咗個井成為水我可以穿州過省前面有幾困難有幾咁難行幾咁閒我拆散自己嘅框過幾個關轉幾個彎就算順流逆流上流下游宇宙盡頭冇人可左右覆水難收手嘅時候可以細水長流到我攻有洪水猛上面活動嘅方向我哋可以細分到嘅我哋雙手就係我哋嘅 healing hand 就係我哋嘅武器好好放低最強嘅武功順水水嘅數正面進攻水是得通我就劍走偏鋒冇最巔峰一杯水斟一半唔會自滿不停去轉不停去變不停去鑽研不停去轉變成為一道清泉山長水遠連綿不斷源遠流傳海南不斷有高低有光輝有色味有崎嶇有氣度有悲有乜嘢出奇上善若水攀山過嶺乜水都可以係宗師乜 friend 如水結冰川去滄海去桑田東邊到西邊到天邊再伸延上善若水福州再聽乜水都可以係宗師乜 friend 其實就係茫宇宙水流到最後又流翻翻去源頭上善若水各路英雄選手上乘嘅武功又使乜嘢用拳頭敲真正嘅五湖四海為一家打都分到粗下要打亦從輪拍追夢啊佢有追夢啊佢嗰次嘅追夢就咁樣不過佢醒翻嚟唔知係6個鐘頭之後咁就好咗佢前仆啫佢就當瞓唔覺咯咁但係嗰個質素就瞓得好好啦。
嘗一口，揮一揮衣就留一手，哼一首水到嗰頭，一出手化地為有意滋養萬物為首，以無法為友。
如果有高低，有光輝，有色味，有崎嶇，有喜都有悲，有乜嘢出奇？上善若水，攀山過嶺，乜水都可以係宗師 my friend。如水結冰穿去滄海去桑田，東邊到西邊到天邊再伸延。上善若水，福州再聽，乜水都可以係宗師 my friend。
1、2、3、4，2、2、3、4，唔係3、2、3、4，4、2、3、4。
安躺你懷內，心貼緊膚身，施恩拯救奇妙音韻，全面環繞牽引。為你當初創造宇宙，為你永遠彰顯榮耀，聖潔光輝來釋放，劃破黑暗，神光照，更新我，清洗我，主賜活水，施恩寶座面前，創傷中重生，更新我，清洗我，主賜活水，永於生活裏面。
我們在天上。
願人都尊崇基你的聖神，願你的國降臨，願你的旨意行在地上，如同行在天上。
迷失你必尋找，被捉你必領會，受傷你必纏過，病了你必醫治，迷失你必尋找，被捉你必領會，受傷你必纏過，在主裏我能痊癒。主來尋找我，我在這裏，你看見嗎？受了傷，屈膝坐於一角落，主啊，來為我療傷。主來 我在這裏，你聽見嗎？無論我於天邊海角失落時，你定會來抱起我。 昨天以往的 的這一生寶貴是時間，你要歸來總不太晚。
未来不再迟疑，牵起我的手，你给我勇气。
曙光渐鲜明，点亮前方路，我展翅高飞，你给我信心。只要相信，相信就有奇迹，挥动星星的翅膀，随着梦想起飞。
相信有爱就有奇迹，不轻言放弃，只要打开眼睛，手牵手一起就不孤寂。相信有爱就有奇迹，虽然逆着风，你给我勇气，飞往那佳美之地。黑夜将过去，
未来不再迟疑，
牵起我的手，你给我勇气。
曙光渐鲜明，点亮前方路，我展翅高飞，你给我信心。
只要相信，相信就有奇迹，挥动星星的翅膀，随着梦想起飞。相信有爱就有奇迹，不轻言放弃，只要打开眼睛，手牵手一起就不孤寂。相信有爱就有奇迹，虽然逆着风，你给我勇气，飞往那佳美之地。信じれば奇跡は起こる。諦めず目を開いて、つないだ手離さずに。相信有愛就有奇迹，虽然逆着风，你给我勇气，飞往。相信有爱就有奇迹，不轻言放弃，只要打开眼睛，手牵手一起就不孤寂。相信有爱就有奇迹，虽然逆着风，你给我勇气，飞往那佳美之地。
虽然逆着风，你给我勇氣，
飛往
那佳
都可以叫做
美
陣線嘅釋放反應啦，就係好頻密嘅眼微調啦。
只要相信，相信就有奇迹。
挥动星星的翅膀，随着梦想起飞。也许未来要远在光年之外，我愿守护为真理，为你都拿
也是你抓，一种执迷不放手的倔强，足以点燃所有希望。宇宙帮我冷漠，我们的爱微笑着闪烁，颠簸却如此无果。缘分让我们相遇了，是意外，命运却要我们为终相爱。
不過呢個就變咗一個練習啦，練習我哋嘅手感，因為我哋對手就係我哋嘅聽。
單手停在發端的指尖，如我瞬間凍結時間，記着望着我堅定的雙眼，也許已經沒有明天。面對浩瀚的星海，我們微笑得像塵